Joining us now, the new member for Warringah, Zali Steggall. When you get to Parliament, what will your main priorities be? Obviously, climate change centred very much in your campaign.
Look, for me, it's a priority really to make it easier for households. The cost of living is going up and their energy prices are going up. We saw on the back of the election wholesale prices in electricity rose by 8% in New South Wales, 7% in Victoria. Now, there's only one way we can address that, is by increasing supply and providing market certainty. So it is really important for me that in this whole discussion on climate changes, we need to adjust deal with energy prices, and that does mean increasing supply through renewables.
Your campaign was heavily run on more action on climate change. So how do you marry the two? Which is your biggest priority, bringing down power prices or more action on climate change?
Well, Laura, but they are the same and very thing. To bring down the prices on energy prices, we need to take action and invest in renewables, since they are our cheapest form of power. And look, I think there's a fantastic opportunity for Scott Morrison. He has a mandate to lead, to show leadership within the coalition and the government and take Australia towards a safer future. But especially, we have now an opportunity to really end the climate wars and end this polarisation of position and actually listen to the Business Council. He has campaigned on economic stability and prosperity, so we really need to listen to the market and listen to business.
And in terms of your influence in the Parliament, how much do you think rests on whether or not the government does get to that majority, that clear majority or not?
Look, as I've said, I'm really looking forward to working with Scott Morrison and the coalition when they form government. It looks like they will have a majority. It's a majority of one or two. We all know from the past that I don't think you can ever take that for granted. There are by-elections and all kinds of unforeseen problems. But what we really need is deliver some stability to the Australian people. I certainly know that during the campaign, what people want is sensible, progressive policies that take us to the future, that ensures that we remain a prosperous nation.
Just on power prices and energy, how do you propose that you bring down prices and are more ambitious on climate change? The government, before the election, promised to do a feasibility study on a new coal-fired power station in North Queensland. So are you saying that might be one of the solutions?
Look, well, I'm listening to the business, and business say coal is simply not affordable, that it is more expensive than renewables and doesn't make sense, that around the world coal is an asset that needs to be divested of because it's just not going to be profitable.
How do you suggest power prices can come down then, and emissions as well?
Well, power prices come down when supply increases. So it's a simple equation that if you increase supply, it becomes a more competitive market and the prices will come down. Now, the quickest and easiest way to increase supply is large-scale renewables. So this isn't about ideological debate about climate change or anything like that. It's a simple market reality of what is the cheapest way of increasing supply.
Are you encouraged by the message from the Prime Minister that he does take the issue of climate change seriously, and further to that, that he says he's going to govern from the middle? Is that encouraging to you?
Absolutely. Look, I think he's had a fantastic campaign and he has a fantastic opportunity. We all saw the outpouring of respect for Bob Hawke and his legacy, and I think Scott Morrison is poised to have that opportunity to really be the leader that Australia needs to take us towards a safer and a more profitable future. Again, I think there is so much opportunity. I think with Mr Abbott gone from the backbench, Scott Morrison can really move forward without such a denying voice when it comes to climate change, and has a great opportunity.
Well, Scott Morrison and Josh Frydenberg have already indicated that they have their climate change policies. They will not change. At that People's Forum in Warringah, you told David Spears that you were, if it was a minority government, you were of a mind to support the coalition, but you wanted to see more action on climate change. With this election result, are you now saying that the coalition's policy settings on climate change are right?
No, I don't think they're right. I think they need to be more ambitious. I go on the science, and the IPCC tells us that on the current targets of the coalition, we have very little less. It's about a 25% chance of staying under a 2-degree warming world. Now, as a mum, that doesn't reassure me. And I think Scott Morrison has such a fantastic opportunity to lead. I am reassured by his words about wanting to be more moderate and that he does take climate change seriously. So in that sense, I really hope that he will listen to the experts and take us towards a good outcome or a better outcome.
Zali Steggall, we appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you.